top. It's pretty early. Good morning, good morning. Just me tapping in pretty much. Well, let's start off with thank God for another day. You know what I'm saying? Been heavy on the spiritual note, you know what I'm saying? The older I get, the more I realize that you really gotta thank God for every day, because this shit ain't promised to anyone. And you just gotta take, every day with a grain of salt and really just thank God that you're here and you're able to do some things that the next person might can't. Not to say throw it in their face that they can't, but your situation could be a lot worse. You know what I'm trying to say? And you just gotta appreciate what it is for what it is, because it always can be worse. It can always be better, but since it ain't worse, you gotta thank God for what it is, and you know what I mean, take it on the chin how it come. Some people ain't having no bad days at all. God, that's a blessing too. God bless that too. But you know what I mean, if you go through a little sign, you know what I mean, appreciate the pain for what it is, and come about that bitch with that fighting spirit. You know what I mean? Just know that it could always be worse, but it ain't. And you just gotta thank God for what it is. But on that note, Monday, just want to tap in on some little boxing note. Keith Thurman, Sebastian Fundora, Saturday night had a decent undercard. Yo Henderson fought Terrell Gausha. Terrell Gausha being an Olympian, 20-something and 6 now. Was a polished fighter at 154. Never really got over the hill as far as winning the championship or being in the championship mix. Never got over the hill. Always got flanked or stuck right at the title eliminator, title challenger type journeyman type category. So he never actually got to but still a really good fighter. Still got all the fundamentals. Still can crack and shit. So that was a good win for Yo Henderson. Very tough Cuban fighter. Only 10-0. Destructive, very destructive. Fight like a Tasmanian devil or something. So that was a good win. But I wanted to talk about the main event, being Fundora and Keith Thurman. I expected a little bit more from Keith Thurman, but I think had he had more ring activity, not fighting in only 2 fights in 4 years is absurd. I understand he said he been through camps, and it ain't nothing like the fight though, man. You know what I mean? Spar to spar, camp is camp. And he was overweight. He looked fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Coming in at about 153, 152 pounds or something on the scale. So he looked fantastic. Fundora, 6'6", 6'7", 6'5" guy fighting at 154 pounds. Also came and made the scale, made it look easy, 153 pounds. Fantastic fight as long as it lasted. Keith Thurman took his first stoppage loss. And I think a lot of it just had to do with inactivity, man. I think Keith Thurman is a hell of a fighter. He didn't have his sneaky cap to beat someone like Fundora. He didn't put on enough to get Fundora's respect in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Just not enough for anything, really. Fundora just went in there like he does with everybody else, kind of just, put that volume on and just get the swinging, and whatever he gets out of that is what he gets. I'm not gonna say it's not any it's not any science to how Fundora fights, but a tall guy with volume, doesn't really have to be much science. Like, it's already going to be hard to hit him. He's 6'6", you know what I'm saying? Tall as hell, long ass reach. He's actually, like, crazy to be as tall as he is to be at 154 weight class. Like, you know what I mean? Like, very big guy, a lot of volume punching. The typical 154 pounder is maybe 5'9" and a half, 5'10". Like, you know what I mean? Everybody else are 5'8", 5'9", like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy is 6'6". So it kind of made me question how good is he really when you got guys that are skilled, are quality fighters, but are just generally smaller than you. Like, I would love to see a Fundora at maybe like 168 pounds, 175 pounds, to where like the height wouldn't make too much of a difference. The volume wouldn't make too much of a difference because the other fighters have mass behind them. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that'll be something to look forward to in the future. But if you can make the weight, you can make the weight. And it doesn't look like Fundora's killing himself. So if he can keep making 154 pounds, then by all means, man. Like, I think it is what it is. It's kind of thrilling to see him at that weight class, fighting the fights that he's fighting. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of thrilling. But I don't know. I think it's kind of like it's a little. I don't want to even call it cliche. I think it's just a little. It's kind of garbage. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things where they talk about like, yeah, this guy is being a weight bully, and he's sitting around at smaller weight classes so he can have easier fights. I kind of think it's like one of those things, like when somebody obviously exceeds the weight class and he's still fighting there, like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like a motherfucker that is like, doing 50 and a 65, like, you know what I mean? I think that's a funny analysis, like, you know what I mean? Motherfucker, he must be doing 65, but he's doing 50. You know what I'm saying? So, Keith Thurman, battered, bruised, beat on, eyes cut up and shit like that. I think the stoppage was a little early. I don't think they had to stop the fight when they stopped the fight. I think Keith still looked like he could go. The ref looked like he wanted to just, go after Keith Thurman's best interest. He didn't really want to see him really get hurt. It's a championship fight. I think lately the stoppage has been a little bit over the top as of late. Like, I think these last couple of years, stoppages has been enhanced a little bit, and I can understand because a lot of these guys been dying in the ring professionally. Hit over the head, hitting the wrong spot, not taking the right precautions and things of that nature to make sure they're okay. And I think boxing is trying to do a better job of making sure guys are not, losing their life in the ring. And anybody can appreciate saving a life, but it's like, it's one thing when a guy can't defend himself, and then it's like another thing when a guy's kind of like taking a beating, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Keith Thurman was in a position where he was getting touched up a little bit, but he was moving his feet, he was moving his legs, he was using his head movement. You gotta understand, like, Fundora is a big guy, man. He's huge, like, you know what I mean, Pauls? He's a big guy and shit, so it's like, he's gonna make motherfuckers bleed. Like, that's just what it is. He made, look how he beat up Erickson Lubin. He busted Erickson Lubin up. Erickson Lubin up, beat him up real bad. Beat up Tim Tszyu pretty bad. Maybe like the last, like 3 out of his 5 fights, guys draw blood. Like, that's just what it is. Like, he's a big guy, and that's what's gonna happen. So I think the referee should have gave Keith Thurman maybe like another round or two. Like, you should have clarified and told him, like, listen, like, I give you one more round to like really show me something, Keith. Like, you know, I'm gonna have to call it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see, you know. Let him know. Like, tell him, give him that sense of urgency to where he know he got to go up in there and make some shit crack, make some shit shake. Like, if you don't do it now, I'm gonna stop this shit. Like, Keith Thurman volume was down. It was what it was. Like, you know what I mean? You're trying to overcome a really, really big guy. If you only fighting 2 times in 4 years, it's gonna help you. Even with the whole, I fought. I mean, I've been in camps and shit and all that, man. It ain't nothing like the real fight, G. We know that. Like, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing like the real fight. We know that. So, you saying that, you know, you've been in camp and shit like that, like, it's not really gonna help anything. Like, you still gotta take the fights, you still gotta be in the fight, you still gotta. Maybe if he would have had the Tim Tszyu fight, maybe if he would have had the Errol Spence fight of some sort, he would have been ready for a Fundora. But coming off the guy that he fought at 154 last summer, and then it's not really his fault because the Fundora fight was been in what was it, December? Or as a September date, but the fight kept getting pushed back because Fundora had other shit going on, like he messed up his hand or some shit like that. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I think Keith just inactivity just been too high for him to think that he was gonna, you know, really do something in that fight. And I believe in Keith, and that's my problem. Like, I know what these fighters can do given, you know, the adequate time. Like, I know what these guys can do, but it's like I just get in that mode where it's like, all right, well, he could probably do this, that, and third, not thinking about what the other motherfuckers been doing. Like, you know, Fundora's fought like at least once or twice, and he had 4 fights in 2 years or 4 years. You know what I mean? You fight twice a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he probably even had more than that, 4 fights. He probably had 6 fights in 4 years. You know what I mean? If my math is math, or 6 to 8 fights in 4 years or something like that. You fight twice a year. You know what I mean? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so that's 8 fights. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I like Keith Thurman as a fighter. Not too much as a I like him as a person too, but I probably like him more as a person than a fighter because he comes off to me as like a poser, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he talks a lot, then he pulls out of fights, he's injured and he can't do this and he can't do that. I remember like when he was supposed to fight Josecito Lopez, he kind of like pulled out of that, and like it just mad stuff. I might be wrong about that, but like Keith Thurman, good fighter, but just too much time out of the ring really hurt his career, and it probably will continue to hurt his career. Keith was better off fighting somebody like Virgil Ortiz or even like a Bruce Ennis or something like that, because all he did for Fundora was literally make, like, you know, him some money and just another name on his rap sheet, because the fight lasted 6 rounds and it was just like, Jesus Christ, like, I never would have thought that I'd have seen Keith Thurman get stopped in 6 rounds, but it was what it was, man. It ain't really too much else to take from this fight, so I ain't gonna keep going on and on and on and keep talking about it, because it really is what it is. Like, inactivity is gonna hurt you, and it showed against a 6'6", Tower in Inferno. That's what they call him. Like, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is, man. I don't know what Keith Thurman does from here. I'm sure Fundora will go on to maybe fight one more time this year before unification early next year, because I think Xander's tied up with Boots in the summer. Josh Kelly, I don't see him having the IBF too long. Good fighter, but I just don't see him holding on to that belt for that long. He'll probably have some title defenses in the UK, but once it's time to, like, you know, getting on with, another champion or something. I don't see him beating Xander or Fundora. So when that time does come, maybe we can see Fundora and Josh Kelly next. You know what I'm saying? That'll be, I don't think it'll really be much to see there. I think Fundora probably stops the guy, honestly. The last cat that Josh Kelly fought, that he took the belt from, it's funny because I actually kind of had Josh Kelly winning that fight because he got moved. You know what I mean? And what the fuck is that nigga name? Oh my god, I can't think of it right now. He's very stationary. He's a very stationary guy. So like, get the fuck out of my way, please. You know, I come over here no more. So let me get right here for you. You know what I'm saying? He's a very stationary guy. So I ain't really see much happening for he coming up fast. I hate when people do that. When, like you in the right lane trying to go fast. Like that's annoying. But yeah, he's a very stationary guy. So I didn't really see him getting past Josh Kelly being a mover. You know what I mean? So I already thought that would be a tough fight for him, and it was. A little bit of funny acting because they was in his country or whatever. You know how that goes, officiating, home court advantage and shit like that. So you know how that goes. But yeah, so maybe Fundora, Josh Kelly, sometime maybe the end of the year, maybe like the end of summer, something like that. It's only March. I'm sure Fundora will be back in the ring before the year out. And we'll just see how the landscape at 154 goes because right now it's wide open. We still got Charlo. We got Boots getting a unification fight in the summer. You still got guys at 54. You got Earl Spence out there. You got Tim Tszyu still out there. I don't really think those guys are, you know what I mean? But those are the names that you still got. And I always say, like, 154 was a revolving door weight class. Like, you get new guys in that weight class that's willing to do some real damage to each other. And the belts change, like, day and night. Like, you know, so very fun weight class to watch. Really good fighters to see. Skilled, got a lot of power. So just got to stay tuned for the 154-pound division for the rest of 2026. I'm sure you'll get some pretty exciting fights. So yeah, man, that's really it. I ain't gonna keep on going. That was a 17-minute video. Didn't think it was even that long, but yep. Y'all be good. God bless, and yes, sir. Until the next one.